This is day 559 of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. If you'd like to sponsor our cover, share more of Arukh HaShulchan Yomi, please contact me directly. It'd be greatly appreciated. Today we're doing Siman Shin Lamed Aleph, Gimel through Tes. Gimel. Katzar Ben B'Yis Yosef B'Sif Gimel Ben Shmona and Gamu Sarah Tzipornav Sarah Tzor Molos of Shabbos. If you have a 8-month-old baby, another 8-month term fetus, I should say, but he has complete hair and nails, so then you can do a bris milah on Shabbos. Why? It says in brackets here, he's really a 7-month term pregnancy, but he was delayed in coming out. If the nails and hair are not complete, even if it's a suffix, if he's from a 7th term pregnancy, which is viable, or an 7-month pregnancy, which is viable, an 8-month pregnancy, which is not viable, ain't molina, so we don't do bris milah on him. It's our bench Monavade goes without saying that it's definitely an 8-month pregnancy, we don't do bris milah. It's interesting. Mishnah Berurah says that there are places where they do bris milah on tzveikos. Okay, I know the wording. If it's definitely a 7-month term, 7-month term, I feel like even if his hair and nails are not finished, most would do a bris milah. Akal Shon and quote from B'Yis Yosef. Yesh v'meilu havayas rabos. There are many different nuances in this. And the Rambam, yesh tiras b'nei zen, there are contradictions. V'yanu b'siyat yishmai v'yadei sim reis hamagvav in siv chavav at siv chadav Evan Ezer sim kuftin vav in siv hey at siv gimel ayin sham. Looking how you're a day Evan Ezer for those issues. Dal v'yom hashmini mo b'sar loso. On the 8th day, the meat of the flesh of the foreskin should be circumcised. The Shin B'Yom Hashmini Afilu B'Shabbos. We say in the 8th day, even on Shabbos. Tahach B'Yom Yutar. This word B'Yom is superfluous. V'Avi Yichtov B'Shmini should say on the 8th. Shayayomika is going on days because see me come like it says previously. Utama Shivas Yomim should be time for 7 days. Fachalosa Gakim Yutar. When it says Imobasar or Loso, the flesh of his foreskin is also superfluous. We already know that Makom HaMilah, where the place of the Milah is. Why we have to repeat it in Vayikra. It's right, on the 8th day, have a bris. So Shimi Basar, we expound the word flesh, linear baheris. That even if there's a leprous infection there, you're normally not allowed to cut off a leprous infection. In this case, you're allowed to in order to perform the bris milah. He's by the day of Shabbos. Explain your day. From the word here in Vayikra and his foreskin, we expound that only a definite orla, its circumcision, pushes off Shabbos. Orla suffix, not a doubtful foreskin. Going androgynous, such as androgynous is suffix in the keva. We're not sure if he's a male or female. Ein molin also Shabbos. Don't do bris milah on Shabbos. Chen lo shazman suffix. Also, at a time where it's a suffix. In other words, we don't do bris milah on Shabbos. What's the case of a suffix? Gonchinola ben Hashmosha, such as the child was born Friday evening between sunset and Seis HaKochavim. Arukh HaShulchan, the Arukh HaShulchan masked suffix. Really after sunset, the question arises. Even they already makabel Shabbos early, and the Shabbos Manamila is not doing the Manamila, which will still be on if it's on Shabbos, if it's before Shkia on Shabbos afternoon, the Mila is going to be the next Shabbos afternoon, for our next Shabbos day. Mishnah says even it's a suffix, if it was born before Ben Hashmoshos or Ben Hashmoshos. The Rabbah says it's Machmir that we pushed off the Sunday. No, it's not just the sub Ben Hashmoshos itself, but if if it was Ben Hashmoshos, pushes the bris milah to Sunday. Says Arukh HaShulchan further. If a child is born on Shabbos between sunset and the coming out of stars, obviously can't be have a meal the next Shabbos, has to have the next Sunday. Because even on a weekday in such a scenario, when a child is born in a time which is dubious, we push our meal to the next day. Because maybe today it's not the 8th day, it would be premature. Um, uh, even as one on Friday, twilight, Amos of Shabbos. And took a bit on Shabbos, even though we're on Kabbalah Shabbos already. The Shema Hu Yom, because maybe that Ben Hashmoshos is considered to be a day. Daytime. It was my Ben Shabbos, the time would be Erev Shabbos. But Shabbos, Milah Shlobazana, on Shabbos, the Milah would be not the right time. The Shabbos, the Milah Shlobazana, if it's not the day of obligation, it's not Docha Shabbos. Usually in some of the cases, Shemitzad HaSavik, Nemos could be have a bris milah after 12 days. If it's Shabbos, Rosh Hashanah in the middle, first Shabbos, then Rosh Hashanah, the bris could be after 12 days. When you find these Bible there, Sham, and it's explained here again. Also, the child is born circumcised, he has no foreskin. Also, Shabbos, you don't do the circumcision, quote unquote circumcision, which is not tough as done bris. Removing a drop of blood, you don't do that on Shabbos. Then this includes also in the what we expound from Orla. So, from Orla Gemara, it's got to be a true Orla. Now a child is born circumcised. Even if you have to draw blood of the covenant from him, and come in the Shabbos, that doesn't push off Shabbos. The primary pasuk of Orla is come to preclude androgynous, the person who's natural male or female, and a person who's born when he already has no foreskin. The suffix man loitz terich. We don't really need a pasuk to teach us that when you have a suffix about bein hashmoshos, that you have to push it off. Of course, that's obvious. We're not going to go outright and Chal Shabbos in the case of suffix. Andregas came from Mulo, but Andregas, you have to do bris milah on him in the final analysis because suffix is the chumrah. Mo should try to team in the dam bris. You have to be the matif dam bris, even though according to most opinions the dam bris is the rabbanon, but you still have to do it. Haisi Omer, we should say Shemula Sam Shabbos. You should do on Shabbos. Kamash Malon. Kra. That's supposed to tell the Shloim Mula Sam Shabbos that you can't do on Shabbos. Firkas and Noah Mo have a feka dedina mechayim of a Shabbos in Lam. For instance, we're not sure if somebody was born circumcised whether mechal Shabbos for him or not. Ayin Shom Ufiza Lo Shach Lamad Mikra Darshinon. So according to this, you can't say that we learn from a pasuk because pasuk is orla, so he doesn't have an orla. So when the cry on Dragos, you have to say the pasuk of also only comes to preclude on Dragos. Brackets, Sarchim do Rabbi Yudas feeling Mishuk from down on the base on Dragos Deicha Shabbos. He also the Milah of an Dragos does push on Shabbos. First Markuf Lamed Zayin, the Darish Mikra, the Kol Zachar. He learns the pasuk of Kol Zachar, any male. After Dragos Mechuyev and Milah Mina Torah, then Dragos must be have circumcision Midah Raisa. Rabbanan feeling the Mechuyev in Ken Gam on Dragos ain't served. You're not required. The Rabbanan Dragos doesn't require it either. But Taisvis Kuflam and Hey, I'm not sure he's saying Enim Chuyev. Rabbanan said the Enim Chuyev. I guess Kol Zachar, Rabbanan don't dash Kol Zachar. Anyways, Dragos is not required. But Taisvis Kuflam and Hey, so the Ramasko below, Kosu Dika Kol and No Mo, primary pus written for somebody who's born circumcised and not the Shabbos and Sham can leave kosher with tzarachim b'duk. According to this, that'd be difficult, but we're not going to get into that at this point. Hey, no lad mo b'krikshin no nira mo gam shelo b'kishrei. The definition of born circumcised is when he looks circumcised, even when the aver is not erect. The imrak b'kishrei, if it's only when the aver is erected, it looks like he has no orla and zakum meaningless. Upelish nogo it's saying labit al no lad mohu b'Shabbos. And it's astonishing that people, by us, we don't check to see if a child maybe is already pre-circumcised and it's the circumcision not be done on Shabbos. By us, move Shabbos like that, perhaps it's also do bris milah Shabbos. Perhaps because it's very highly not prevalent that he should look like he has a bris milah even at a time when his aver is not erect. But you find that he is pre-circumcised. Shabbos Yontif, you can't do bris milah on Shabbos Yontif. So to a child is born by cesarean section, his bris milah is not the don't push of Shabbos. A non-Jewish woman who gave birth to him afterwards underwent a gerus. He says here in brackets because censorship beyond in ancient times. Ein milas in derech Shabbos, then milas not derech Shabbos, because the child was born not Jewish. Gemara Sham Darshin and Lumi Kraya and Shalom Gemara learns out from Sukkim. Chen mi Yesh Shnei Oros, somebody has two foreskins. And Shnei Zel Gabi Zev, one on top of the other. Or Shnei Gidim, or two organs. Yesh Shnei Oros Apriya. Some say he has two skins which have to be ripped through. All these are not derech Shabbos, but this last thing, nobody can tell that there's a double layer of skin under the foreskin. Okay, too fine. Even where there are those two skins, it's not a significant deviation. Or but it means the foreskin itself is thickened. Vav, Mila derech Shabbos lo machshir Mila. The Mila itself pushed up Shabbos, but not the preparations for Mila. Sheichol sos Shabbos, once you go down before Shabbos began. If you Ismail Mila Merev Shabbos, if you didn't bring a knife to the Mila from before Shabbos, lo Yevan Shabbos, it's just a rabbi. You can't bring it to a public thoroughfare, it's just a rabbi. If you Makamas, even it was just rabbi the Rabbanon. Also, you can't bring it. Havagav Day said, lo Yemalu Ayom, even though it's going to push off the Mila from today. Chacham said, no, we're not letting you carry in our system, even though it's liable to kares as a result. The truth is that it's not clear who's liable to kares, but that's not for now. To tell Naju to do a malacha, or to bring the knife, if it's saying that if the Jew will do it, only be a rabbinic prohibition, you can tell Naju to do it for you. It's doing you're telling a non-Jew, which is the Rabbanan, to do the Rabbanan malacha. And Malka Mitzvah, we allow that. But it was something that were a Jew to do it would be a Torah prohibition. Also, unless can't tell a non-Jew to do it. You don't push off the rabbinic prohibition of telling a non-Jew to do malacha by the Oraisa just because of a mitzvah. Pretty much because of Rabbeinu Ramala El, Sirim Reishaim Vod, the Mutar Mar Le'en Yehudi, Valikon Nelu Suda Shabbos Ayin Sham. So the Kohen Ramah, Arukh HaShulchan did not like this Ramah, but the Arukh HaShulchan says the Ramah says you're allowed to tell a non-Jew to light a candle for Suda Shabbos because it's a Tzorah Gadol. Ayin Sham Koshken Yeshon Tir Tzorah Milah. Certainly couldn't tell a non-Jew to bring a knife for the Milah. If has to be Shom Lo Kaim Lo Kei, Arukh HaShulchan did not like that Ramah, because he's not passing like the Aruch. And Malcolm Tzargaro, Amir Hakam's mutter. Nevertheless, but Mila Yesh is Mochan Tezu. By Mila, you can rely on that. Lean Amir and Yudi, tell Naju, Lavi, there was just a rabbi to bring the knife through, even just a rabbi, the Raisa, Ismail, or talking or to sharpen the knife, if necessary, which would be Makab Patish. Bilach writes that if there was no criminal negligence in not bringing the knife from before Shabbos, so even Shus Ram Daraisa it can be lenient. And if even you were criminally negligent, you can be lenient in the case of a Shus Ram Daraisa. Bashir writes in terms of Mila, the one who rely on the opinion that says you can do a Mila Akum Bashir Tzar Gadol, and you can't, you have no other option, you can rely on it. So the knife, if he was criminally negligent and didn't fix it yesterday, he can't fix it by a non-Jew today. Not sure what the difference is between carrying and sharpening, according to Shibura. I don't know. Okay, back to Arukh HaShulchan. But to tell Yisrael to do anything, even the Rabbanan is also. Koshken attacking its opponent, certainly to sharpen one's nail. Sheesh said Grada Malacha, which has a potential Malacha involved. The Malacha says even if there is no other moil, only one whose nail is cracked, nevertheless you can't fix it. I'm not sure why nail is essential for the Priya. I thought the Priya could be done just with the fingertips. Who knows? Okay. Can't bring the child to shul, even by non-Jew, through a chotzer who has no eruv. Because their kamas only through Shusram Darbaran. Shechol Mulav the base, let them do the bris milah at home. Sharatim writes that if the knife is in the shul, then it's best to bring the child to the shul to a non-Jew. But even better than that is to bring the knife to the home of the baby. Back to once the Moel puts the knife down after the Mila, also he cannot carry it anymore, it comes muktzah, because muktzah machmas kesem kis. Let's see, can't put it away, do muktzah. Also can't rinse the blood off the knife. We say it's okay. The Shtabur brings down the opinion of Taz that you can't carry after the Bris Milah, but Avram says as long as the knife is in your hand and you don't put it down until you find a good place to put it. And if he is also doing Priya, so somebody else should take the knife from him and put it in a certain place. And he wrote at the end that, but the Evan, if you put it down, but there's a fear you might get stolen, so you rely on the Ramah and the Shach, who hold you can carry it even after the Bris Milah. Zayin. Lo kamon. If you didn't have the Kimmel Shachu ground for Erev Shabbos, which is the medicinal spice, or it's Leinu Shalo Shachu Eitza Rakuv Shakrin Pulver. By us, they did not grind the rotten wood that they call pulver, which I guess is used as an antiseptic of some sort. Erev Shabbos also showed by Shabbos you're not allowed to grind on Shabbos. And Lord said they shinui, you can chew it, but with a shinui, because I'm trying to your mouth. No, actually, less than shinui behind the b'shina. The chewing is in of itself the shinui. Places to put wine or oil on the bris. They mix them together, and mix them strenuously. Shabbos didn't do it from before Shabbos. Also, the Torah some Shabbos now to mix them strenuously on Shabbos. And if you didn't mix them at all since Erev Shabbos, Shabbos, so you think you should not mix them at all on Shabbos, but just put each one separately. Or else, so we put them together, they shouldn't make some shino. But know the call Zehu Koramil is all before the bris. And for Malu, if it's already after the bris, Rosh ain't come on being Shemen, and they saw, whoops, we forgot the essential medicinal stuff. V'yayin, there's none of that stuff. Shita Shechalim was the Shabbos. Obviously, Mechal Shabbos at that point. Sharei Achar Milah Musukkan after the Milah is considered to be in danger. Sharatin says this, even if you deliberately were mal to the Bris Milah, we still let you go and get the stuff afterwards. Mishnah Berurah says though you should make a shinoi, and the Sharatin is not sure if you have to make a shinoi. Ches, yesho sim lakis achamila kamin chaluk. They make for the bandage after this meal some sort of robe. Can kis tachuk? It's like a pressurized container. Shemachasi moshagid, that which they cover the top of the organ on the third to the crown. Because I'm tight there, so that the skin will not recover the organ. Shabbos didn't make this contraption for Shabbos. Also, so the Shabbos can't make a Shabbos. Just put a rag there. If he doesn't have a rag at home, then wrap a rag around your finger, as if it's something what you're wearing. To make a shinner from the way you would take it on a weekday. To bring it through a courtyard. I feel no stuff for Yachid, even if it's not part of an Erev. But there was just arrive also, but to bring this Smartut on Shabbos, which is arriving, is forbidden. It says, Bishop brings up from the Elia Rabbah that through a Carmelist would be okay. I don't think Oshul makes that distinction here. Anyway, it says Oshul for them, it's also after Achar Milah, it's also after the Milah. So Eno seems to for us, so don't do this for healing. And in order that it shouldn't go back to cover the organs. I'm not sure what you can do before. He says before he can do it, but not afterwards. Because he'll say, make it today, make it tomorrow, it won't grow that quickly. Logan says that's according to Rashi. According to Rashi, when you show him it's a sakona not to have the special sleep bandage. You can even bring it through after the meal through Shusarabim when there is no Eitzah. Test, Kosovatur, also Marlene Yehudi, now tell non-Jew, if they have meal before the Bris Milah, to heat up hot water for the purpose of the meal. Came Sheish Blisset the rights, it's a Torah prohibition to cook water. They didn't allow you to tell non-Jews to do it. However, it's Rabbana, but it's rabbinic prohibition, calling Lavi Derek Mavui. So it's being out water through a alley, which is not part of a Shitu. Or Chatzah, Shlo not part of an Eruv. Mutar lo Marleni, lo Leni, Udikam, Lavim. Tell non-Jew to bring them. Also, if the non-Jew had water, he heated up for his own purpose. Or Jew violates Shabbos by heating this water. You're allowed to wash with them. Even though you're not allowed to wash the entire body with water that's warmed up, even for Shabbos, by Mila, we were more lenient. I got show an encore from the tour. So it seems to me what he says now is bring the hot water through Rosh Hashanah. But this is what he said in Sivav that that Makabila can make so then he can be matched. So after Mila, he's in danger. Mutter b'chol, everything is mutter. Again, you got a person who is in danger.